Hi there, welcome to our channel. Before we start talking about something so serious, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Have you ever wondered about the darkest chapters of human history? One such chapter is the history of the Gulags, the forced labor camps in the Soviet Union. These camps sprouted like poisonous mushrooms in the aftermath of the Russian Revolution of 1917. They were the brainchild of the Soviet regime under the leadership of Vladimir Lenin and later Joseph Stalin. The Gulag served as the regime's iron fist, a tool of social control and political repression. The word Gulag itself is chilling, a Russian acronym for Main Directorate of Corrective Labor Camps and Colonies. It's thought that millions of people, from political dissidents to ordinary citizens caught in the crossfire of the regime's paranoia, found themselves trapped in the Gulag system. Through harsh conditions and brutal punishments, the Gulags aimed to break spirits and enforce obedience. Let's delve deeper into the existence of these camps and their impact on the people who were forced to live there. The Gulags were not all the same. They ranged from harsh labor camps in remote regions to high-security prisons for political dissidents. These labor camps were often located in the most inhospitable parts of the Soviet Union, where winters were frigid and summers were brutally hot. Prisoners were forced to work long hours, often in dangerous conditions such as mining, logging, or construction. In addition to the labor camps, there were also high-security prisons known as special camps, reserved for political prisoners. These individuals were seen as enemies of the state, and they often faced even harsher treatment than those in labor camps. The living conditions in all gulags were deplorable. Prisoners were subjected to extreme hunger, rampant disease, and brutal punishments. The conditions were inhuman, and it's estimated that millions passed through the gulags, with many dying due to the harsh conditions and forced labor. The Gulag system was a grim reality of life in the Soviet Union, a chilling testament to the lengths authoritarian regimes can go to maintain control. Despite the brutal repression, the spirit of resistance was alive within these camps. The prisoners, despite their shackles, found ways to push back against their oppressors. They organized rebellions, calling upon their shared sense of injustice to rise up against their captors. These uprisings were often met with swift and brutal retaliation, but even the threat of death couldn't quench their desire for freedom. Hunger strikes became another form of protest. Deprived of even the basic necessities, these prisoners used their deprivation as a tool of defiance. These strikes were a silent yet powerful message to their captors and the outside world about their dire conditions. Some prisoners protested through the creation of clandestine literature, secretly documenting their experiences and preserving their personal and collective histories. Their words became a beacon of truth in a world filled with propaganda. The Gulag's history is not just about suffering and oppression, but also about resistance and hope. The legacy of the Gulags is complex and still a topic of debate today. With the fall of the Soviet Union in the early 90s, a vast trove of previously classified documents was unearthed. The revelations found within these Soviet archives painted a detailed, albeit grim picture of the extensive network of forced labor camps that once spanned the breadth of the USSR. The opening of these archives was a seminal moment in our understanding of the Gulags. It laid bare the true scale of the atrocities committed, and the sheer number of lives affected. It's a chilling reminder that these were not distant impersonal events, but rather an integral part of the lives of millions of people. The search for justice for the victims of the Gulags is an ongoing endeavor. Despite the passage of time, there are still those who survived the Gulags, alongside descendants of those who didn't, who continue to seek recognition and reparations for the suffering endured. Their stories, often harrowing and deeply personal, underscore the human cost of the Gulags. Equally as important is the role of historical memory. Remembering the Gulags isn't just about acknowledging past events, but about understanding their enduring impact. It's about recognizing the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. Each year, on October 30th, the world observes the International Day of Commemoration for the victims of the Gulags, a day set aside to honor the memory of the countless lives lost and forever altered by the Gulags. It's a poignant reminder that we must never forget the past, lest we are doomed to repeat it. The Gulag's history serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of political repression and the violation of human rights. In the words of George Santayana, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. The legacy of the Gulags, then, is not just about remembering the past, but about learning from it, a lesson that remains as relevant today as ever. The history of the Gulags, although a dark chapter in human history, is a crucial one to remember. Born out of the Russian Revolution, these forced labor camps served as a brutal instrument of social control and political repression. They varied in form and function, from harsh labor camps in remote regions to high-security prisons for political dissidents. The conditions were inhuman, leading to the suffering and death of millions. Yet, amidst the oppression, stories of resistance and hope emerged. The legacy of the Gulags is complex and still being debated, but the opening of the Soviet archives and the search for justice for the victims remain paramount. It's a stark reminder of the dangers of political repression and the violation of human rights. This history serves as a warning, a call to vigilance, to prevent such atrocities from recurring. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to our channel for more content on history, authoritarian regimes, and the fight for human rights.